What's up, everybody? Back again with another video. Today we're going to talk about why I purchased the A7IV versus the A1, and let's talk about the elephant in the room that everybody knows about with the A1, and that is price. And it's not that the price was too high, but that the options available at that price just didn't satisfy me. I mean, if the A4 wasn't around, then maybe, yeah, I probably would have purchased the A1. But the fact that the A4 came out, and, we've all watched hundreds of videos before we purchase a product. Maybe not all of us. Maybe some of us go to different websites and go to vlogs, and we ask people we know. But if you're like me, then you've watched at least 200 or 300 videos. Okay, maybe not that many. But anyway, the features just weren't like... The performance of the camera is great, but there's just certain things I want. Like, number one, I want an articulating screen. And I feel like if the Sony A1 comes out with an articulating screen in the next version, then I'll buy it at that point. But at this point, like, the A7IV has it, I gotta have the articulating screen. Like, with the way I shoot and the way I work with my clients and for myself and just things that I just do for fun, like, I gotta have an articulating screen. I wasn't gonna pay that much money and not have an articulating screen. So Sony, if you're listening, make sure you add that in the future. I don't know. You guys, if you guys know about Sony bodies, like, Sony's really been trying to, like, not add that screen for the longest time. It feels stupid that we're talking about this at this point, but please add it in your next camera. Next is the photo video switch. And one other thing I'd like to add also, not only just the photo video switch, but the fact that you can, and I believe the A1 does this also, but the fact that you don't have to have the settings transfer over, and that also allows you to have up to 11 different modes on your camera. So you have modes 1, 2, and 3. You have photo, video, and S&Q. But what you can do is you can set your modes for photo and video where they don't transfer over and overlap with each other. So with each other. So that was another reason why I purchased the A7IV over the A1. The next reason is the 7K downsampled to 4K is extremely sharp. And for me, like, I want the most sharpest camera possible. I haven't tested this, but I've watched a ton of videos where they've showed test footage where the downsampled 7K is extremely sharp. So for me, I want the sharpest image possible. And if I want to, I can make that not look as sharp in post, or I can buy a filter to where it's not as sharp. But give me the sharpest image possible, and then I'll decide what I want to do later on down the road. The next reason is the megapixels for photos. So you got 33 megapixels for the A7IV and you have 50 for the A1. So I kind of feel like 33 megapixels is a sweet spot. I don't do photography where it's required for me to have 50 megapixels, although it would be nice to have. But then again, like I said, I do plan on purchasing the A1 in the future once they give me some of the features I want. And that'll give me the option to have those size megapixels if I want them. But I feel like 33 megapixels is enough. And I also feel like 33 megapixels makes me not have to go purchase a secondary. Oh, my cat is turning things on over there. Okay, cool. We'll do that later. But I also feel like 33 megapixels makes me feel like I don't have to go buy a separate hard drive just to store like 150 photos. You know what I mean? Like, the 50 megapixels is cool, but if you don't need it, then you don't need it. Next is the focus breathing compensation. Now, while I don't have any Sony native lenses, I do plan on purchasing Sony native lenses probably like in like the next day or two. And I kind of feel like the type of work I do, I'm definitely going to need that focus breathing compensation. And when it comes to how the camera performs, the roll and shutter wasn't really like a big deal to me. I kind of feel like I'm not really whipping my camera real fast. So as long as I have that focus breathing compensation, still having that roll and shutter isn't that big of a deal. And I do know that some of you are going to be like, well, what about the roll and shutter? Well, that's not going to be that much of a deal for me. The programmable locking dial. So typically on most Sony cameras where you have the exposure ring, you have a dial now that you can program to anything that you want that to be. Although that wasn't a huge selling feature for me, it was one that just made a lot of sense, considering I prefer to have more programmable buttons than buttons that are like hardwired. So the next feature, which is a software feature, which I do think will be added in other Sony bodies, is the focus mapping. And although that's not like a huge deal to me, I do feel like in certain situations that's going to be a very, very, very nice feature to have in my arsenal. So I don't have anything else to add, but those were like the most major important reasons why I decided to purchase the A7IV over the A1. Hopefully some of those things will be added to the newer A1 whenever they decide to upgrade the A1. I'll make my purchase at that point. But for now, I'm happy with the A7IV. And if you have any questions, make sure you drop those questions below. But anyway, I see you guys in the future. Make sure you drop those links and comments below. Make sure you smash that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more in the future. And I will see you soon. Peace.